the superior mascot platform fighter, Smash Brothers. I don't understand why you. I don't understand. Like it's like that Office meme, except they want you to identify these two images, and they're like the same image. No, one of them is clearly Super Smash Brothers, and this is someone doodling Super Smash Brothers. It's like.
What's up, everyone? This is Press X to Start Podcast Season 5, Episode 42. Press X to Start Podcast is an audio and video podcast seeking to transform the video game media landscape through an underserved and protected point of view. Restorative justice for the underrepresented programmers, developers, and consumers. I am your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Daddy Long Legs. I don't got a Did You Know for today. I'm working on something now. And he just waved.
I'm also here. I know I'm the last person anyone wants to see, but I'm also here. I'm the only one.
Well, with just two people, you're the last person.
It's a good old.
By the way, that's Avery for those who don't know.
Yeah. Good old fireside chat.
Yep. All right. Well, with that being said and us being introduced, let us talk to you about what we will be talking about in this podcast. So, we'll be talking about some delays, most of them being very big. Unfortunately, there was Blizzard lost a very important CEO or a co-head, I should say. And we will be talking about the Elden Ring gameplay. So, with all that being said, and now you know what will be the main events, let us get into the first section, which is what we've been playing. So, Avery, what you been playing?
I've been saying in the chat for at least last 3 to 4 weeks, new season, new me, and it's a new season of Apex Legends. We're at season 11. Who thought we'd be here? No one. Just me, though. I saw that game, and I saw it, and I'm like, we're going to be here forever. We're going to be a thriving esport. We're going to be the best Battle Royale. Call of Duty, who knows? Who cares? They need to fix their anti-cheat, whatever. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, we're in Apex Season 11. They brought a brand new map out, which is Stormfront, which is a tropical island-themed map with flora and fauna that can kill you, which I'm not really a fan of, but essentially there are, beyond the POIs and the chokes and all the rotations on now I have to think of and do things now, there are nests of Prowlers, which were like these minor enemies that you could see in other sections of Apex, which will, if you enter into their like area, they will attack you. So like, if
that's actually kind of cool.
It is unless you're trying to rat for RP, because you can literally stand like a foot outside of where you think the threatened area is, and they'll just rush you, and then everyone know who you are. He'll die. It's a whole thing.
So are those spots indicated on the map?
They're all indicated on the map. However, what they will consider the threatened area is not firmly indicated, so you'll never know until you've aggroed them. Then there are the spiders, which are more interesting in that there are like little egg sacs across the map, and they don't do anything unless you shoot them, and then they will spawn a spider. And the spiders will aggro the spiders will, I believe, they will aggro people within their specific area, and they won't follow you afterwards. So, like, for the most part, they're not really
stop after a certain point.
Yeah, but they're more of an annoyance in that, hey, if I'm holding a position that happens to have these eggs here, it's so easy for another team to just shoot the eggs, drop them on my head, and I have to draw my attention to these things. They've balanced out the new enemy types in the maps by they give you Evo points. So now when you shoot them, you can level up your armor, and they will drop like low tier loot. So they're like, there's an actual reason that you want to find them in the map and farm them. My last critique about Stormfront is they really need to fix their end zones. Like, I've seen way too many final ring circles that are just in like the middle of water or on like a giant hill.
Wow.
In which one team was just going to get the win, because there's literally
Oh,
the
because
other.
they're just already up there.
They're all already up there. This map
Yeah.
also really promotes. We were very comfortable in a like automatic shotgun meta in regards to fights, but the size of this map, because it's bigger than World's Edge, which was their biggest map, the size of this map and the way it's designed really promotes long range weapons. So like if you're not carrying like if you're like an R99 one trick like I was for a long time and you're not using a 301 or the Rampage, you're fucking throwing. Cause like there's no way someone's gonna hit you from like fucking halfway across the map with a triple take and there's nothing you can do because you're fucking shooting an R9.
Oh, because you just don't have the range on your gun.
You don't have the range. And like a lot of the maps designs
Gotcha.
promotes long distance poking fights.
Yeah.
And okay, we also got
wait. When you say throwing, you mean like throwing grenades?
no, I mean like it's not even an esports term, I guess, but throwing in that you're throwing your game.
Oh, okay. So you're throwing in the match. Okay, I get you. I get that.
We also got a new weapon this map, new this season called the Car SMG. The car is from Titanfall. It's another one of the Titanfall weapons to come from Titanfall to Apex. And like a lot of the weapons in the Apex now, which I'd like to have a dissertation. I need to write a dissertation on. It has a gimmick. This gimmick is that it can use two types of ammo. You can switch them. You can switch back and forth.
Okay.
So like
what are the types?
Heavy and light. So in its light form, it's sort of like a beefier R9, but in its heavy form, it's like a more easily used flatline, which is their heavy assault rifle. It's like it's one of those things where I'm like, we need to talk about these gimmicks. Not every gun needs a gimmick. Just make a gun. Just try and make a gun different. I think the reason it has a gimmick is because if they just put the normal gun out there and be like, oh, this is just another R9. But so they have to do this stupid gimmick. It's fine. I'd still prefer to use the.
So no, you still prefer to use the what?
I'd still prefer to use the R9 or any other heavy weapon over it.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's one of those weapons where it's one of those weapons where you have to change the way you play the game to use it.
Yeah, that seems like it. So I guess my question is, that being a submachine gun / LMG, does the LMG range covers like, does it suit the size of the map?
No,
because it seems
not really.
Okay.
It's classified as an SMG, so you can only use SMG attachments for it.
Oh.
Well, when I say flatline, yeah. Well, trust me, you don't want to go back to Apex Season 0 where you can put any scope on any gun and you can get a fucking wingman that had a 4 to 10 scope. And then the final big content drop for this season is Ash, the new legend. Ash is also another returnee from Titanfall. She used to be part of the Apex Predators who were all killed by the main character of Titanfall 2, but Ash is a robot, so she survived. She is broken, but not in a way that some of the other characters were broken.
Okay.
She's like I think she's more like there are two types of broken when you get agent legend releases. There's the Valkyrie where this character does one thing really well and that breaks the game, or you get the Seer where this character does 10 things really well and there's no reason why you can't use any other character if you're not running this character you're throwing it. Her main ability is this thing called an arc snare where she throws a like shuriken, it latches onto the ground, and the first enemy that gets into its radius gets like tethered, so they can't run. It's one of those things where like
that seems pretty powerful.
It is, but it's very situational.
Right? Yeah.
Like it literally requires an enemy to walk into it. So like you can use it to zone off enemies, and it's actually kind of effective against an Octane or any of the movement based legends. But for the most part, it's very situational and it doesn't get much use. Her ult, however,
is it really bright on screen? Like, can you easily see it that it's on the ground? So you really have to kind of stumble onto it.
It gives off like an energy field, so you know where it is and where it's on the ground.
Gotcha.
And then her ult is essentially a combination of Wraith and Octane in that she has a sword that she can cut open reality with, and then do a line of sight teleport up to around. I think it's around 70 to 90 meters. I can't really remember what. And essentially, it's a one-way portal. Anyone can take it. Yeah. So like it can go any height difference. So like the big difference. Yeah. So in this new map where like there's a lot of hilled areas and a lot of height and things like that, this is the best. This is one of the best movement abilities in the game.
Interesting. So my question, can you see, like, is there an indicator on screen that tells you, okay, well, if you like, how to explain that? Is there an indicator on screen when you're doing the super move that tells you, oh, okay, like it's green, so like you'll teleport to like a place on land versus like teleporting somewhere in the sky?
You can't. You have to teleport on a piece of like. There has to be solid floor where you can teleport through.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
What makes her ability slightly broken is that it's
Mhm.
kind of silent, well, like a lot of things in Apex, and it can go through
Oh.
windows.
Oh.
So like, and there are
Oh.
lots of areas in this map where there are just random windows for no real reason, and
Right.
so like you and your team could be holding a building. It could be Ring 5. There are 4 other teams around you. You've got this place on lock with Watson, Caustic, whatever, and a full Ash team just enters your building. They don't trigger any
Teleport.
traps. They're just in there, and unless you saw them coming, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
Like, once again, it's a really strong ability. It kind of makes Octane useless, which I'm happy about because Octane was dumb. But
Mm.
I would personally make it a lot faster, like increase its cooldown, like decrease its cooldown by like maybe 30 seconds, and make it that only she can use it. So it's a very
Wait,
more.
oh, okay. So, but
So
what's
it's,
the cooldown for it right now?
I think it's gotta be a minute 30.
Okay. Okay.
Like I think
That's a big cooldown.
I would decrease it by like 30 seconds and make it she's the only one who can use it, and like
Yeah.
make her a stronger flanking character.
Okay. Okay.
Because with this ability that she has, she's instantly meta.
Yeah. Right. Right. That makes
Like
sense because you can
people,
take your team anywhere
yeah,
essentially.
yeah. And then her third ability, which is the most broken, and they literally had to change parts of the game's code to reconcile how broken it is that when you die on the map, you leave a marker where your death box is. So
So anyone can see that,
when
or
Ash
just you?
only Ash, when she opens her map, she will see where every death box on the map is currently.
Whoa.
So not only will it give you an indication where people are, where fighting is going on, the most broken part of it is if she touches that box, it will tell you where the person who killed that person is. It will indicate it on your map. These people are there.
That's too much. That's
Oh yeah,
way too much.
yeah, 100%.
Like,
It provides way too much information in a game like
yeah.
this.
So when that happens, like, is that a thing that stays on your map permanently, or is it just like a ghost of?
It flashes like 3 to 4 seconds, and the person who's
Okay.
being scanned will get like an indicator. Hey, you've been scanned by Ash.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, but it's one of those things where that's way too much information, and to the point
Yeah.
where they had to readjust custom lobbies so that it's anonymous now. Because if in a high tier pro lobby, what would have happened with this ability unchecked? What happened was, let's say TSM kills NRG. TSM, you don't know where TSM is on the map, but you find NRG's boxes because you know where new boxes just appeared on the map and they just died. So you know where NRG
Yeah.
was. So you just go up to that box, hit it. Now you know where TSM is, and hey, you now have this ability to just instant push them silently.
Oh,
So the
okay.
capacity for grief was super easy. So I put customs in the anonymous mode.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
but yeah,
Wow.
so far this new season is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. It's refreshing. Its battle pass kind of sucks, but I think any battle pass that doesn't have any Wraith or Watson cosmetics sucks. Because like those are the two characters I play. It's got some nice Gibby drip in it, and I'm always ready to put some drip on my Gibraltar. But it's like in terms of battle pass, it's kind of mid. I don't think I'm gonna put money into
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying the season. I'm very interested to see if Stormfront becomes a competitive map. I've been a fan of World's Edge, and we've been playing World's Edge for over a year now straight as our primary
Yeah.
competitive map, and I'm just wondering if Stormpoint joins in the rotation.
Okay. Cool. All right, that works. And because it's just two of us, what I have been playing is actually, this is actually a first. I'm not gonna talk about it because we're gonna do a review on it. But last episode, Sean and Avery was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel game, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I'll buy this game and play it. I bought the game. I'm playing it. I'm almost done with it, and we're gonna do a review pretty much the next day after this recording. So you'll see that. Actually, you'll see that before you see this. So magic. But other than that, because I kind of mainline Guardians, I didn't really get to play too much of Gundam Battle Operation 2 Code Fairy. But what I did get to play, I was very surprised. As I was telling Avery off air, they made so it's releasing in 3 parts. Each part is, I believe, 3 chapters long or so. So the first one is 3 chapters, and I've completed the first chapter. It was pretty short, but in terms of production value, I was very shocked by what I saw. It was very much so like watching an anime where you have like gameplay in like stitched throughout the anime. So they have their own anime opening. It is the like hype, like colors, flashes, diagonals, like character moment, Gundam, character, like yeah. So it's a lot of energy that I didn't really think that I would see, especially because of the overall style of Gundam Battle Operation 2 um primary, the actual like multiplayer battle game doesn't have that same energy. It is very much so like boots on the ground, military looking kind of game with just mobile suits. So to have this is very like nice. And then the actual anime cutscenes are hand drawn for one, and that was like kind of surprising because oftentimes we do get a lot of um like 3D kind of character work, and then they kind of put like 2D stuff on top of that. But this is just completely 2D, and like you can really tell by like the like I don't know. You could tell by just watching it that it is definitely hand drawn. So yeah, that's really cool. This whole game or this whole story takes place in the same time period. I think I said before as when Armoro climbed into the Gundam. So this is pretty actually no, this takes place before that because this happens pretty much concurrently as Xeon drops the colony on Earth. And then that kicks off the war, and then this is kind of happening like on another front, on the North American front. But yeah, like overall, the game is, it's battle operations, but with actual story. Like there's characters. You play as Alma, who is she just gets brought into this whole mission where they have to uh take the North American base. I forget the base. But you have 2 other characters. You have Mia, who is the engineer, then you have Helena, who is the sniper. And it's really cool. It's all Japanese, so it's dubbed. No, it's subbed. It's not dubbed, it's subbed.
Subbed
And
like God intended.
yes, right. And I think the real value of this is that this is a good introduction to how to play Battle Operations 2, because the main thing that I always like brushed up against, and even like Sean tried to play it, and it's just like I understand why he bounced off so quickly, because the game has a very 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 steep learning curve, because it doesn't move at the pace that a lot of other multiplayer games move at, and it's also very animation based. So like Dark Souls, where if you go do a melee attack and you see that it's not going to hit the person, you can't cancel out the attack. So you're pretty much stuck doing it, and then you will get punished. And like this game is all about punishing people for making their mistakes. Um, so yeah, like the actual single player teaches you how to play the game, teaches you how to counter attacks, teaches you how to dodge roll, teaches you like if you crouch, you do more damage. If you go prone, you do even more damage. All this stuff. Um, I haven't spent too much time in the story yet. I'm still kind of working my way through. Like I don't know. I mean, other than the trailers, I don't know exactly what the main adversary is going to be, other than the Earth Federation force. And again, it's one of those things where it's kind of weird playing as a Xeon force, and you're just like, these guys are kind of like, as Avery said, they're Nazis.
Like space
Give it
Nazis.
away. Yeah, yeah. But it sort of feels like they're kind of pushing the message to we're not all like that. And
Yes,
it's
not
like,
all Nazis.
right? And it's like still kind of weird though. But yeah, overall I'm having a good time. I am enjoying I'm enjoying the money that I spent on this game because they definitely put that money into this, and you could tell. I just kind of I think the last episode comes out December 3rd or something like that, so it's gonna be a while before I've like completed the actual story. I'm not necessarily super happy over the launch schedule of this content because it is very much so staggered. And once I finish this, I think the next actually I think the next set of chapters come out I think next week, so maybe it won't be that bad actually. Now thinking about it. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying the game, having a good time. This is one of those things where would I recommend it for a person who is not interested in Gundam? No. I would recommend this game, and this is also a standalone game, so you can play this game and not have to uh, even touch or think about Gundam Battle Operations. So, if you are interested in Gundam and you want to play a pretty, for right now, interesting single player story content with learning anything about how Gundam Battle Operations 2 plays, this is that game to try out. And then I think the way that it works is because it's broken up into sections, you can actually buy the first set of chapters for a reduced price. So you're not paying like 60 or 70 for it for the whole bundle. But yeah, I'm having a good time with this, and I will let you guys know what I think of it when it finishes, and I hope it ends as with the same energy as it starts with.
DJ, I want you to savor this moment you've had right now. Because you know damn well when everyone else is on this podcast, I'm not gonna let you talk for 10 minutes about this Gundam spin-off game.
I know. That's why I made sure Sean couldn't come and, and Jordan couldn't come. I planned this whole thing from from the start. All right. With that being the case, before we jump into the next set of stuff we will talk about with our mouths, if you've been watching us and you've been enjoying this video so far, please like the video that you are watching. Hit the subscribe button, especially hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with our future videos. Future videos including the Guardians of the Galaxy review, including the Internals review, including the next actual podcast that we do. Thank you for your support. That essentially keeps us going and it shows that what we're doing is actually being watched. So, thank you. And we are back. Now it is time for the quick hits. Number one, this comes from Rebecca Valentine from IGN. Marvel's Midnight Sun delayed to second half of 2022. So they didn't give a solid release date when they first showed the game off, right?
No,
Or
I
did
believe
they?
they said March, and this is one of
Okay.
those interesting pieces of news where I think the prevailing, like, they're framing it as, oh, we want to put more polish on the game, but I think the prevailing understanding is that Take Two was releasing like 3 to 4 big games all the exact same time, and so
Oh,
it's like I think this is less of we need more time with the game, or more than we can't cannibalize our own fucking market share like this. Something's gotta move. This is the game that will benefit the most from a move. Out of like, we're going to be talking about 2 delays right now. This one
hmm
doesn't piss me off.
no.
I'm more than
Yeah.
happy to wait for this game. As someone who likes Avengers and really likes Guardians of the Galaxy and like Ultimate Alliance, like I and like Spider-Man and all the Marvel stuff right now, allowing you to take more time to cook this stuff, I got no problem with.
Right. Yep. Well, you kind of hinted at it. Number two, this comes from Ethan Gotch. Ethan
Yeah, I
Gotch
believe gosh.
from Kotaku. Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 delayed to 2023. Yeah. Oh, we are never getting Overwatch 2. Oh my gosh.
Okay, like this
Go ahead.
Overwatch 2, this is why this okay, like I okay, I play Overwatch with Marcus, Annie, and their group when they invite me because they rarely do that anymore.
Oh
Because
no.
well, it's whatever. Mark doesn't want to play It Takes Two.
That's their role playing time, Avery.
It's whatever. It's whatever. But no, in all seriousness, imagine you've built your life playing Overwatch. The game hasn't updated in going on 2 years because they've been working on Overwatch 2. They show up Overwatch 2. I'm like,
Working.
oh, you know what? Okay, I'm fine with this because this game is coming out next year. I'll be fine with it. The game's coming out in 2023, which means Overwatch, the main game, isn't getting any more updates till 2023. We're going to get the same rehashes of old events, and we'll get cool new skins, but like no new legend, no new heroes, no new maps, no new gameplay types.
Blizzard's like, let's see your dedication to the game. Yeah.
And like what's even worse,
That is so wild.
there is an Overwatch esports. Overwatch League is a thing. And like
Yep.
there's like from what I've heard from reports, because I watch a lot of esports, reports are that the Overwatch 2, like Overwatch, they're going to start playing Overwatch 2 next year. But they're going to be playing a development build of that game and not the actual release game. Because they can't, because the esport cannot wait for them another year to do this.
But I mean, I get that, but it's also I can't wait until we're able to get the like full story on this, because obviously it's one of those things where like a lot of people are kind of speculating, oh, maybe the whole shakeup at Activision and Blizzard is resulting in this delay, but like that doesn't make sense. And the fact that people are getting dev builds to play for esports, it's like, okay, well, the game is there. We definitely saw the game. So it's
they played at Overwatch League events, Overwatch 2. And that's not even talking about the fact that, hey, if you're a tank, an off tank whose job was to play off tank in Overwatch, you've lost your job because the game went from 6v6 to 5v5.
Right. Jeez. Okay. And then on the other side, you have Diablo 4, which is also being delayed, which is not that. I mean, it sucks for the people who are really, down for Diablo, but I think it's not as heartbreaking because we've seen Overwatch 2 and we've talked about Overwatch 2 for so long.
And you also got Diablo 2. They got the Diablo 2 remake this year as well. So like they can afford to wait. But it's one of those things where what's even more galling about this delay is that those games didn't even have release dates. We learned this about it in an Activision call where they're like, hey guys, we're delaying these games to 2023. And I'm sitting there going like, y'all gave it a release date for 2022?
Nah.
Oh my God. So frustrating. I just want to play Overwatch 2. I just want to play that sweet PvE content and never have to worry about talking to another human being. Because trust me, the game is going to 5v5. I'm not getting a call from Marcus. I don't play tank. They're gonna dedicate. I can't even flex it. My only tank was D.Va, who's an off tank, and I can't really play her that well. I'm not getting a call.
Well, don't worry. At least you'll be able to play. You'll be able to finish up It Takes Two with Marcus, because he'll have time.
I believe it when I see it. The man's an actor. He's got responsibilities.
All right. Number 3. This comes from Curious Lafon.
I also the look the face you're making is the look I have when I looked up that when I was writing that name in the script. That is indeed the correct name.
Oh, okay. I nailed it. All right. This comes from CNBC. Activision stock has worst day in 13 years. Traders on what's next. So this was actually, a lot of people were speculating from Bobby Kotick. No, I know there's a different way of pronouncing it.
I believe it's Bobby Kotick. I believe it's Bobby Kotick.
Okay. Yeah, but when he took his giant salary cut, people were just like, "Oh, that's nice of him." Other people were like, "This actually might be a sign of something else that's coming in terms of their investor call." And we got to see exactly what what people were speculating on. So the stock fell more than 14%, and it's considered their worst day since 2008. I mean, that's probably have to do a lot with the Overwatch and Diablo delays.
They literally just had their investor call where they pretty much had to brief everyone who's pot money and shares. Hey, this is what's going on for a company right now.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
also we've like Activision is a weird place. They can't really they can't because of the Blizzard shit that's going on. They can't really publicly talk about most of the shit that's going on. We were joking in our chat that the Call of Duty released this week, and none of us really knew. This has been the most quiet Call of Duty release, and then all reports are that it's getting good to average reviews. So it's like not even the most stellar thing. You add that to the news that hey, our two big pillars are WoW's in its weird place that it is right now. Our other two big pillars from Blizzard, our big moneymakers, aren't going to be seen anytime soon. We're not doing anything with StarCraft. There's no moving pieces right now in Activision. So this shit is dropped. So it dropped me like this is not unsuspecting.
Right. And then on the other side of it, the public sentiment to Activision Blizzard is not positive because the studio is still grappling with sexual harassment and discrimination allegations that led to firing over their recent quarter and development disruptions. So there's that. The trilogy of this little section comes from Ari Notice from Kotaku. Blizzard is already losing its first female studio co-head. So Jen O'Neill, who assumed joint duties of the top position at Blizzard in August, will step down from the company at the end of the year. She wrote in a statement. In the meantime, she'll transition to a new unspecified role in Activision Blizzard. Her co-lead, Mike Ybarra, will take over the rest of her responsibilities effective immediately. So this sucks because it was very much so when the announcement was made. It was like, oh, like Activision Blizzard is getting a woman like CEO. It was kind of weird that she was a co-head because just like, why can't it just be her alone? But
it's one of those things where I don't know the hierarchy of Activision Blizzard. In my head, when I heard that, it could have been we don't she was hired from outside the company, and we don't want someone who as great of a message as it is that we have a female CEO. It'd be much better for our company for our next CEO to have someone been involved in our product.
Right.
So that may have been the reason. I don't exactly know why. That being said, this is not a great look because it's one of those things where there's no clean verbal information why she left. It's just people speculating about why she left, and that just makes already bad situation even worse for Activision Blizzard.
Yep. And it's when I look at this, of course, it is definitely not the same thing, but I kind of get hints of when Sean Layden when he left PlayStation, and it was like he didn't say anything, and it wasn't even the typical way that people exit PlayStation at that like higher level. It just felt weird, and again, this definitely feels weird, and we're left to speculate, and especially because Activision is dealing with the whole sexual harassment and discrimination stuff. That is just like I really hope she just didn't leave because she felt like she couldn't do anything in terms of being a voice or being a pillar to really like push that kind of change forward or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the most cynical read on the situation.
Yeah.
I don't like it's one I don't have a read on because I don't because all I know about Activision Blizzard is that we had the previous guy. He left after everyone revealed that how big of a piece of shit he was over the last years, and then but at the top of the food chain is Bobby Kotick, who controls everything. So here's the thing: until she comes out and says that, hey, this is why I left, anything is possible.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, and then again, like they're saying that she is transitioning to a unspecified role at Activision Blizzard. So it's not like she's leaving the company completely. She's still going to be a part of the company, but she's just going to be in a different role. So, I mean, maybe that could be once we figure out what that role is, it is going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So like she's actually doing something that is,
Yeah.
I don't know, more empowering to the women employees who work there and so on and so forth. But yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
Um, Number 5. This comes from Natalie Clayton. I almost said Cannon. From PC Gamer. Sega and Microsoft partner up to develop cloud power super games. Super games.
This is the headline we got at the beginning of the week that was very clearly. I kind of read it as clickbaity in that way. A lot of the sites were positioning it sounded like, oh man, Microsoft and Sega are working together to make Microsoft exclusive Sega games using their cloud architecture. And then when you drill into the actual article itself, it's literally nearly word for word the same kind of deal that Microsoft forged with Sony like a year and a half ago proper about using Microsoft architecture in it for their cloud gaming services.
The Azura platform or whatever.
Yeah. And the Super Games moniker is not them saying that we're making quadruple A games for fucking Microsoft. It's with the cloud, we Sega will be able to make quadruple level games
for PlayStation.
Correct. I mean, they already are. Like the fucking most of the Persona games are fucking only on PlayStation. Like it's one of those things when Jordan was the first one to let us know about this, and when I read it, I was like, oh, this is huge, because that might mean like the Persona games, which have been PlayStation exclusives for God knows how long, for I don't know what reason, because the rules of that arrangement have never been really clarified. Other Persona games can go on Nintendo consoles. Persona games don't go on Xbox consoles. I'm not exactly sure if the next Shin Megami Tensei. No, the next Shin Megami Tensei is only for Switch. So I don't even think it's going to show up.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft has no the only value in Sega right now is Atlas. Sonic is Sonic. Like they have Sonic.
What about Yakuza?
That's true.
I mean, Atlas is definitely bigger than Yakuza, but
Atlas is making 9s and 10s. Everything else at Sega is lucky to get a 7 at best. I think I would say the Yakuza games as well, but like the creative team of that.
What about Sonic?
Fucking, I'm not gonna get in this argument. Sonic games are not good. They've never been good. Everyone's been smoking crack. It's a bad series. They can't even figure out what it wants to do with itself. That being said, Atlas is the big fucking bread and butter of that company, and that was my thing. Is if Microsoft gets hands on Atlas, that's a GG. Because that's the only other people making JRPGs that rivals Final Fantasy. And then no, it's like, no. Like, read the lines of this article. It's, hey, we're working with them on their cloud architecture. We're not doing anything special.
Yeah. It is very much so one of those things of like, all right, cool. We'll see what comes of this. You know,
we won't see what comes of it because we're like on year 2 of the Sony deal, and Sony's still fucking using their own architecture.
That's actually a good point too. All right, number 6. This comes from Devolver Digital's main page. Devolver Digital goes public with investments by Sony and Tencent. So essentially, they released a letter on their main website saying that the typical like we thank you people for supporting us, and they also let people know that they're being invested in by Sony and Tencent.
Not just by Sony and Tencent, but Sony and Tencent are the most notable people who've bought stakes in their company.
Yeah. So I mean that's cool. Like as when you go public, you have to do certain things like that. So that kind of makes sense as to why they have to put this out there. But yeah, it is like we Avery and I were talking about this off air, and it's like I think you were saying how you could possibly see like them producing games as like a PlayStation first kind of plan.
Like this is just me reading the tea leaves on based on how Sony operates in regards to third parties that become second parties that become first parties. In that they work with people to make content, and then the content does well for Sony, and then they bring those people into the fold. Sony has a problem with indies in that people a perceived problem with indies and an actual problem with indies that we talked about in the past. This is essentially them getting an indie publisher. If like if them buying a stake gives them any power in Devolver decisions, this gives them a stake in a slew of high profile and highly rated indie games that will then come to PlayStation as the main console of choice. Odds are they're still going to come to Microsoft because the thing about this, they only went public because they needed more money for growth.
Right.
Like they could have stayed at the same level of profitability and portfolio and all that. They could have stayed at that same level and done well. But this is them saying we want to be bigger, we want to do better things, we want to possibly do AAA games as well, beyond just really high quality indie games. So them going public is allowing them to get the investment to do that.
Right.
And on that, now they have investors, and now they're dealing with, okay, so all deals now have to be a profitability thing that works for their investors. So like, there's a lot of shit that goes on there, and I'm not well versed enough in like fucking stocks and all that to understand what the actual relationships of these companies are. Because this is very similar to Sony taking a stake in fucking Epic a while ago,
Right.
where we're still not sure what that means, but like in my simple brain, it's more like, oh, we might see more Devolver games with a more PlayStation focus.
Right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense though. Like that does. Okay, number 7. This comes from Aaron Garst. This comes from Upcomer. Valorant and League of Legends arrive in the Epic Game Store. So I'm kind of surprised at this because I thought they would have already been there by now. But this is cool to see that it's getting introduced to more stores.
Yeah, so Riot has their own launcher. And Riot as a publisher now of multiple games now with Valorant runs everything through their Riot client. What this essentially does is now you can buy both of these games are like free to play. So it's like it's essentially so it's like you're not really buying anything from the store. It's just like, hey, you do this, you'll download the Riot client. The shit will still launch through the Riot client, but it's now if you're in the Epic store, you will see this. And considering that Riot right now is in the middle of an event where they're like fucking going to literally every game publisher and platform holder and like, hey, we want to put League of Legends shit in your game. This seems to be more of a synergy to influence that, like, because you can currently buy a Jinx skin in Fortnite. So odds are there's going to be now a tag to that Jinx skin about, hey, do you want to play League of Legends? Hit this button and boom, League of Legends.
Makes sense. All right. Number 8. This comes from Michael Warthor? No.
Wartor.
Yeah.
Walter.
All right. From Polygon. Spider-Man release date for Marvel's Avengers announced. Well, the actual date is November 30th, so you have your time to download Marvel's Avengers if you haven't, and if you have the next gen consoles, you can. Well, if you have the PlayStation 5, you can download the PS4 version, and then you can do the whole save transfer thing, and then you can be able to play Spider-Man. You're definitely getting this, Avery, right?
100%. Like it's still Marvel's the PS4 version of Marvel's Avengers is still on my hard drive. I don't even want to go into why I'm not using the PS5 version because that's like a little Avery Williams ADHD bullshit that I don't want to really talk about right now. But I'm super excited for this. Like I've enjoyed like Marvel's Avengers is a game that if it got shut down right now, I wouldn't be upset. But it's a game that every time they release new actual content, I'm like, I definitely want to see this game have a year 2 and a year 3 and grow from there. Spider-Man's going to be hopefully, if it's in line with all the other characters, he's going to be a fresh, new, and interesting character to play with, exclusively on PlayStation, which I think the funniest bit about this news is Marvel's Avengers went online on Game Pass. You can play this game, all this DLC, for free on Game Pass. Also, next week, Spider-Man's coming out. You can't play him on Game Pass. So I think that's like we were talking about this. Why this wouldn't be a big deal? Why you wouldn't like make this the biggest of deals? And I think if you're Marvel's Avengers and you've just made a commitment to Game Pass, how do you communicate this thing and also say on the undercurrent, also not coming to the Xbox, the platform that we were currently talking about 5 minutes ago. I
Right.
think the Spider-Man news would surely be a Sony PlayStation thing that they're going to talk. They'd have to talk about and hype up, which is one of
Yeah.
those things that maybe should have hyped it up last week and just say to play.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I totally agree. Like, this is very weird for the current circumstances of that game and how, it's essentially a lot of people are probably playing the game. Like, if it's free, it's available on a Game Pass, and you get Game Pass on pretty much anywhere. Yeah, let me go ahead and just try this game out and see what it's like. And then to have the news of, oh, Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man. PlayStation. I can't play it on. Why can't I play it on? But yeah, we'll see. Because right now it's kind of been like a stealth drop in terms of when it's coming out, but it's enough time between now and then for them to put some kind of
Oh,
presentation
yeah,
together.
probably a war table.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Number 9. This comes from Michael William. William.
It's my name with a G. It's my last name with a G at the beginning of it. It's not that hard.
Hey, look, English is difficult sometimes. And this is from Dexerto. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, Dick Zerto.
Okay. Smash rival Nintendo All-Star Brawl drops to single-digit Twitch viewers. Oh, this was painful. Not really painful for me though. Even though I bought into this game, I quickly realized that this game was not going to be the golden goose. Um, so yeah, as the title suggests, a lot of people are just not watching this game anymore. I actually took some time out to watch a tournament match between two players. One was playing as Aang, and the other one was playing as I think SpongeBob. I think it was SpongeBob actually. Yeah, and watching the match, it kind of illustrated two things. One, the game isn't necessarily as fun to watch as Smash Brothers is. And I think that's because it's new and it looks like Smash, but it doesn't play like Smash.
It
So
also
like
doesn't look good. Like in
yeah,
terms
that
of
too. Yeah,
raw animation, like there's a fluidity to Smash where like even when you're spamming stuff, the characters animate in a way where this makes sense. Where this is the
yeah,
game. This is one of the first things I looked at and said this is not going to be a good game. Is that your characters just look like they're fucking in the middle of frames of animation as you're spamming different moves. And I'm like,
yeah.
this is not.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong there. But like the other thing that I noticed watching the tournament play was that the player playing as Aang was comboing the SpongeBob player, and it was comboing in a way where yes, it's probably difficult to do and it was probably elegant in that way, but it also looked kind of cheap in terms of this is unfair, like in how the person's being comboed. Because like the combo started kind of they were playing on like a Final Destination kind of level, and the combo started essentially close to the middle of the stage, and Aang was literally able to combo SpongeBob all the way to the edge of the stage, um, knock SpongeBob down below the stage, and then follow up with another down smash essentially, and it was almost a guaranteed kill every time the combo started, and it was just like that feels like there should be some kind of like counter or break to that if the combo goes on for that long. Because even with Smash Brothers, like you can start comboing someone, but eventually the way that the system works, the when the character's percentage increases to a certain point, they travel further, so it's harder to like predict where they're gonna be, so to continue your combo. So yeah, it was just it was weird.
Yeah,
It didn't necessarily feel good. And then there was another match I saw with Toph and another person, and the Toph player literally at the start of the match, the Toph player double jumped to the top of the screen and did one of Toph's special moves that allows her to put a rock literally anywhere on screen and she can stand on it. And the player literally did that. And mind you, this is a tournament play. The player did that, and he had like some kind of timer on his phone. He put the timer up to the camera, and the announcer was just like, "Is he is he is he trying to say that it's only going to take him this amount of time to like beat this other player?" And then they were like, "I don't understand what this guy is doing." And then finally, the guy like came down from the top of the screen and started playing normal. And then the announcer was like, "Oh, I guess he was just trying to grief people." And it was just so confusing to watch, and it's just like, what? what is going on? What is this? What is this?
Yeah.
So I can totally understand why people are bouncing off of this game because it just I think it came in with an energy that it just couldn't really keep up with.
No, it came in with nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
like
Yeah.
it's like I'm nostalgia is the biggest double edged sword in regards to video game marketability. It's going to give you a burst at the beginning, but if you don't have anything substantial, it's going to betray you. Like people saw this game, were interested
Absolutely.
in this game because oh look at our favorite Nickelodeon characters, played it, and then like oh okay it's fine. I'll just go
Yeah.
back to play the superior mascot platform fighter, Smash Brothers. I don't understand why you. I don't understand. Like it's like that Office meme, except they want you to identify these two images, and they're like the same image. No, one of them is clearly Super Smash Brothers, and this is someone doodling Super Smash Brothers. It's like the issue that all these mascot fighter ripoffs have is that they're banking on nostalgia over making a solid game, and their nostalgia is so shallow that it's not going to be of any substance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be so funny to watch if Nintendo doesn't release another Smash Brothers game. It's gonna be funny in 10 years when five other platform holders are gonna say like, "Oh, we want to roll Smash Brothers," and all of them will lose because none of them will be as good as Smash Brothers.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, last up, this comes from Ian Walker from Kotaku. Back for Blood. What happened?
Yes, you called him Iron.
Oh, yeah, I or Ian. So okay, the reason why I trip up on that name is from Dead or Alive.
Ein?
Uh, yeah, that character like there was I went through like a week of someone like correcting me and saying like it's not Ian, it's Ian or something, and I'm like I don't I don't know I don't have
Let's
any
not talk
friends.
about Dead or Alive in terms of name pronunciations. The character is
Right.
a Japanese man who has amnesia, and everyone he falls and finds himself in Germany, and they call him Ein for some stupid reason.
You're not wrong. uh, well, back to this. Back for Blood already has fewer players than Left 4 Dead 2. Ouch. Why is this? Why is this the case? Is Left 4 Dead 2 just better than Back for Blood?
No, well, I haven't I'm not like Jordan. I don't have friends, and
Yeah.
my internet's
Oh,
shitty, so like I haven't been playing a lot of Back for Blood. But
okay.
from what I can tell, Left 4 Dead is just a more entrenched game with a lot more content and is
Okay.
much more simpler and easier to get into. There's none of this. There's not an economy. There's none of like attachments or all that like complicated
Mm,
nonsense you have to get on. It's literally you and four people pop in, you run a mission, and it's been so long, and the game is a Steam game that like
hmm.
it's been broken open and popped up so many different ways. We're like, I want to play a SpongeBob.
Oh.
Okay, I can replace your character with SpongeBob. Oh, I want to make all the brutes Shrek. Oh, we can do that. There's so much modability to
I
that
see.
game, and
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
fundamentally, if people are talking about Left 4 Dead, they're not talking about the console version. They're talking about the PC version. And its game has been so moddable that there's so much interesting. Well, Back for Blood is still very young in its infancy, and while I think that's a very, very good game, I do think there's going to be a barrier for entry in regards to its systems and everything like that to get over. And then there's
Yeah.
also the content thing. I think the game has a lot of content compared to Left 4 Dead. Where Left 4 Dead,
Hmm.
like original, both Left 4 Dead campaigns have like 4 campaigns directed into 4 levels, and like 4 levels. Well, this is a game where like there's like 3 chapters, like 3 acts, but each act has like 10 individual levels of missions with bosses and all
Wow.
unique environments. Like the game is really robust and interesting to play through. It's just like back to our Super Smash Bros. Argument, like back in the day earlier with things that like which is a little different, but like you get the sentiment that like I just wanna I just have allegiance to this game. I'm just gonna keep playing that one. Especially now when it's
Yeah.
like super cheap and things like that.
Right. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It sucks though.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
yeah.
there's the argument that and this is, I don't really subscribe to it because I need more data. It's also a game that you can play on Game Pass. And there is an argument that
Oh.
like with Outriders, there might be an argument of it's being on Game Pass affecting its sales otherwise.
Right. Yeah.
But we'd have to see everything about everything in a post. We have to see. We have to see it post.
Right. 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 All right. Well, that is it for the quick hits, and now it is time for our heavy hitter, which is essentially it's us just talking about the Elden Rings 15 minutes of gameplay. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what we're gonna
O
do.
tarnished one, you must
Mm.
find the Elden Ring and
Okay.
bring salvation to our soul.
Are you the voice actor for that person?
There's only 4 voice actors in them, all from games. It's just vague British accents.
They're like, oh, that sounds about right. Go ahead. Oh yeah, okay. So we're just pulling from IGN, but really and truly, this is just a YouTube video that we all watched. Um yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this because I was pretty much the one that out of the two of us, I was the one that was initially down on Elden Ring in terms of like, well, looks kind of muddy. This doesn't look very colorful, and I'm just like, I'm not really sold on this, but I will try it because this will be the Souls game that I'm going to actually stick around and play because I played about a solid 25-30 minutes of Bloodborne and I bounced like a basketball. Um so yeah, watching this, it pretty much did a good job of answering all of my little nitpicks and complaints about what I've seen from Elden Ring thus far. And they show colors. There's yellow in the game. There's orange in the game. There's even green in the game. It's just like they almost got the whole rainbow. I'm just waiting for blue and purple, and
I'm
I
just
can just
saying
make
that like
those.
it has the exact same color filter that every other Soul game has. So like I don't even know what's going on here. If you want colorful, if you really want colorful, play Sekiro and get to the end of that game.
True. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I will say though, when I think of Souls, I forget about Sekiro, and I think it's just because it's such a departure from like what the Souls games kind of looks like that I just never grab that and put it in that same bucket of Souls games. So that's on me. I'll say that's on me. But yeah, in this gameplay reveal, they show a good amount of stuff. They show I think part of some of the content they showed was also shown back in E3 that was behind closed doors because I do remember a lot of the people talking about how they were in the open world and like a dragon touched down and started like wrecking this camp. And then like in this trailer, we kind of see something very similar to that, but then it spirals to the player itself fighting this dragon. And it was really cool to watch, and it gave me pangs of Dragon's Dogma, just in terms of like you are running around trying to do damage to this dragon, minus the whole being able to jump and climb on it and stab it in his back that way. But it was really cool to watch. It was really pretty to watch as well, and I liked throughout the trailer overall. I liked the different
Yeah, I just
um
want to clarify something. TJ brought up Dragon's Dogma, and I couldn't let this a friend lie. Dragon's Dogma was clearly stealing from Demon Souls. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. If it was, it did a good job. It did a really good job. But yeah, like I really like the variety of weapons that they showed throughout the trailer. I think the combat was fluid enough that I think I will jive with very well. Whereas I think when I think of Dark Souls, the meme is the person rolling around, rolling around, attacking, rolling around, rolling around. And it's just like, I don't know about all that. But like, I do really appreciate them showing this gameplay to get a better sense of, what you would be doing in the world. And I think a lot of people was kind of wondering like what this actually amounts to, what the open world amounts to. I think they did a good job of showing all that. Um, what was your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
My thought was, this sure looks like a Souls game. The only interesting new element to this game was the open worldness of it in
Mhm.
regards to this feels very Breath of the Wild-esque, which
Yeah.
was never really exciting to me, but it's a Souls game. It's Miyazaki. I trust him to make this an actual interesting thing to be about.
Mhm.
Combat, animation, like they're straight up using the same animation from other Souls games. Like this very much just felt like more Souls, and I'm super happy about it. So it's one of those things from I'm reading in the chat and you and Sean like, oh man, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this, and I had to resist me saying to everything. I'm like, this is in Bloodborne, this is in Dark Souls, this is in Demon Souls. Like they're not doing anything new. Like so I'm
Well,
excited.
that
Like
being said,
yeah, I'm
it's
super.
new to me.
Okay, yeah, it's like I'm excited for Elden Ring. I'm super
Mhm.
excited for it. I like that they're going back to a more Souls-esque because nothing hurts my soul than having Sekiro being the outlier of the Souls franchise. I just cannot beat because it's like just so
Oh,
goddamn hard, and like it's
yeah.
one of those things where like when people talk about the difficulty of Souls games, they're talking about Sekiro. All the others are just RPGs, and you can get through them if you're determined enough. Sekiro is like,
Yeah.
no, you need to learn the window of animations for parries. You can't, you can't.
Just rely on, like, brute forcing it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I think because, they have a network test that's slated for,
This
sometime
weekend, I
in
believe it's this weekend.
is this
So
weekend?
so
Oh,
it's the weekend of the 7th when we recorded this. That's pretty much where I'm
yeah.
seeing a lot of influencers talking about, hey, we've got Elden Ring. We're playing a network test right now.
Okay. Because I signed up for that, and I'm kinda waiting to see if I got it or not. Um, yeah, I think my only hesitance, or I guess my only fear of what they've shown is that I am not going to jive with the actual, like, controls of the game. And it's one of those things where I just hope that, because I don't remember in Bloodborne. I think I just kind of played it and not really uh
From what I can
not
remember
really
about
looked at the controls too much.
if from what
Go
I can
ahead.
remember from Bloodborne, it was R1 with light attack, R2 with heavy attack, triangle was using your fucking your Estus, no, your heals. I think
Mhm.
square was to use your ability. No, okay, so left trigger. Square was to use your equipped item. Circle was like interact. No, circle was dodge and X was interactions.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Fucking
Okay.
so
Yeah,
good.
because like I if it allows me to like change my buttons, then I'm definitely gonna be all for it. But we'll see. That's one of those things. I do remember the attacking with the triggers, and just like I'm not really a fan of
That was my big
that.
issue of God of War.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're
Because
right.
like
You're right.
I
Yeah.
found this profoundly foreign to my head to be using melee but not using a square and triangle.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we'll see what they do with that, and hopefully they allow for some customization in terms of the buttons. I really liked the I don't know what they call it in terms of the like the ghost system, like summoning the different enemies to help you
Spirits, I believe
attack
they call them
people.
spirits. Yeah,
Is it spirits? Okay. Yeah, I really like that. That looked really cool. Like in the actual gameplay, they showed almost like a combo with one of the spirits where spirits attack the enemy, and then the character followed up with like some like 2 or 3 hit combo or whatever. And like stuff like that is really appealing to me because it's like, okay, well, even if this game does get like difficult, you can kind of cut that by just summoning some spirits. And I think per the information that's come out to now, like you can only summon spirits in certain situations or
it's one
something.
of those
I
things
don't know.
that's a new addition to, from what I can tell from old Souls games, is being able to,
Yeah.
because you could always summon people, but like there are always certain areas you could do it from, and it's using and thing like that. This seems to be like, hey, you can literally summon here's 3 or 4 Pokemon to help you in this fight, which I'm interested to see how that scales with difficulty.
Right.
Because
And
one of the things
also how that scales with co-op, because you can have up to 4 people co-op with you now.
knowing Souls, it's not going to be this is not like a Borderlands with drop in co-op. It's like
I'm pretty
it's
sure.
gonna be
Yeah.
like, one of you has to ring the summoning bell, the other two have to tap in the password, and then the minute one person goes through another area, everything drops and you have to do it again.
Oh man.
I doubt they're gonna let you remap controls in this.
Yeah. Okay, I
You
guess
have to stop being
I'll
puffy and
deal
just
with
learn to play
that.
the game the way it wants you to play.
I hate learning. But yeah, overall, I really liked what I saw from the trailer. It was one of the things that they showed where the character had like some kind of wind attack with the sword, and I was like, "Oh, that's
Spirit
cool."
arts.
Is that that's what's called? And then,
No,
so,
that's
so I,
I'm just thinking about other Souls games, and you can do shit like that in other Souls games.
Oh, no, what I'm saying is that that was cool, and then later on in the trailer, like, the character was climbing up it was the castle part, and they came up to an enemy, and the enemy did the same attack, and I was like, "Oh, shit." I was like, "Oh, no. You have my ability." But speaking of the castle part, I absolutely got a great laugh from when the character that was playing through this gameplay trailer, they got up to the castle, they ducked into one of the little rooms, and then they talked to one of the NPCs. The NPC is like, you can go through the front gate, but I would advise it. You could actually just go through this side portion here, and that would probably be a lot safer for you." And the person playing was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go through the front gate." And the guy was like, "All right, well, if you're gonna do that, I'll just have them open the gate for you." So he went out, he opened the NPC opened the gate, and the guy just got like laid down with just like crossbows or whatever. And it's just like, Jesus, if the NPC says go this way, just go that way. Oh man. But yeah, I think I will wrap this up by just kind of really talking about the co-op section that they showed where they were fighting the guy on horseback with the like finger shield and I think it was an axe or something, or no, I think it was a sword that he had. But yeah, they showed some of the like special attacks and such. Even actually throughout the trailer, showing a bunch of special attacks. And this game looks really really pretty. Like, I am kind of amazed by how good the attacks looks compared to, I guess, in my mind, what I think a Dark Souls game kind of looks like. And again, I know this is probably just me not having all the information and just going based off of the bucket full of screenshots and videos that I've seen from the games going so far. But yeah, it looks really cool. Like, I like the co-op partner did like a dragon head fire attack where the dragon head kind of came out of the player, and they were like shooting fire at the enemy, and was like, "Oh, this looks really good." I just, my only hope is that like when you play the game, it actually looks like that, because it could be a vertical slice where like, "Oh yeah, we can spend the extra processing points on this because we're not worrying about rendering like X, Y, and Z, like that's happening off screen or whatever." But yeah, like overall, this looks really good. I am excited for this game. I am finally excited for this game, and I'm pretty sure I will be getting your Elden Ring friend code to enter in so I can jump into your game and
Although I will be
play some
playing,
games.
I will only be playing Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring as a solo experience, as a
Oh, we'll
true
see.
Souls connoisseur. I will allow
Oh,
you to
we'll
summon
see.
me. I'll allow you to summon my level 100 character who's beaten the game and all the maxed out style to make the game easy for you. But I will not be calling upon you plebeians to aid in my search for the Elden Ring.
It's gonna be me and Sean be like, "Hey, Avery, come outside. We want to play." Oh man. But that will happen sometime next year, and this game better not get delayed. I'll tell you what. Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to rate and review us on your favorite podcasting app, because every little bit counts. In case you missed any of this, you can find all details and more on our website at pressx2start.com. Don't forget, if you're watching this video on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you see a notification bell, make sure you smash it. as Sean would say, smash the notification bell. Or no, he said like smash the like. I don't know. He said something and I laughed. It was a couple episodes. Go check it out. With that being said, now you know what to do. Go watch our content, have fun, enjoy, and have a good day. Wash your hands.